Hey, what's up, guys? So I got a KRYTAC PDW originally. It was originally a PDW, and then he purchased a longer rail for it. I think this is like the SPR rail, because it's a longer one. So I don't even know really what to call this. It's originally was the PDW, so it has the PDW stock, but he replaced the rail system, and as you can see, the suppressor starts here and goes all the way to here. So it had the PDW barrel originally. But anyways, it has a Polar Star F2, so I've done a few Polar Star F2s. This is the third one that I've done. Two of them were in KRYTACs. One of them was like it might have been a G&G, I think it was. And then I actually purchased a F2 myself, which I am installing into an AK. So stay tuned for that. That'll come a week or two. But for now, I've got this one to do a video on. So this one's pretty cool. Guy sent it out of California. And he spent a lot of money on the gun. Well, on the parts for the gun, rather. He got the gun itself for $60 on eBay. Now, again, that came PDW. So then he purchased the rail system, the suppressor, the grip, the red dot, and he also got the Defiance grip because it came with the original, like, alpha style grip, standard pistol grip. So he replaced that as well. And obviously the F2 and some upgrades for it. And he sent it over to me to do all the tuning and everything. So let's start from the back and go to the front on this gun. So we got a KRYTAC PDW stock. Now this is very tight on battery space. It's got the FCU in here, and it's got a 350 milliamp JST battery. And I don't know if he's going to be able to get the cap on here or not. I'm thinking he is, because the cap has a little bit of space in it. So it should fit on here fine, no problem. But it's still very limited on space. It's got a metal body, and it is gray, the gray version. It is a Mark 1, as you can see the body, it's standard. He did purchase a Defiance pistol grip. It has the ambi selector switch still. Charging handle, I saved the fake bolt in there and everything, so it looks as it did when he purchased it. I don't think the bolt lock feature is working, and I'm not sure why, because I put everything back in there. He wanted all the parts on the side of the receiver because he plays in California and it's kind of dusty, which is very smart, so dust doesn't get up inside of here and clog anything up. Rail system on here, again, he purchased this after he bought the gun, so it's in a little bit better shape. I don't know if he bought it new or used, but it is the SPR rail, so I think it's like 14 inches. This, is, I believe, is a Strike Industries hand stop. He said he might take this off and put it back on his AR-15, because he had originally bought this for his AR. So I'm not sure if he plans on keeping this on here or not. He's got a red dot back here. These things are sold, you know, on eBay, Amazon. I'm not sure what brand it is. It's unmarked, but generally they're 30, 40 bucks for the T1 replica. Suppressor on here, again, starts right here. So this could be a really good one to foam fill, but his inner barrel stops right here. So it goes through here pretty far. So it's not really foam fillable, and in fact, it's kind of loud when you're dry firing. At least when you have ammo through it, it's pretty quiet, but you can actually take the tip out and it makes it pretty loud. So he can basically act as an amplifier if he would like. So I'll shoot it with the tip and without it. Internals, it has a IGL on here, which he has its he put custom lettering on there which says churro. I hope I'm saying that right. It's pink and black. Got like black webbing, and then it's got pink webbing, and then black underneath that again, so it looks both, which is really cool. I haven't seen many of these. This is for the F2. It screws right into the F2. Again, there's a retro arms trigger that is red, and a short trigger pull mod, and that's it. The Polar Star F2, the engine itself is stock. Now, what is amazing about these Polar Star F2s is they are the most efficient HPA engine on the market. That is a fact. They come out of the box with a Polar Star red poppet, the low flow poppet that comes in the Fusion engine. It is the exact same thing in here, and it comes stock. Not only that, it comes with a bored out nozzle. So it's basically, you buy a red nozzle for your Fusion engine. This comes with that stock. Okay, guys? There's no QEV valve, there's no S2 banjo, it's a different valve system, and there's no need to replace that because it's already got its own efficiency system. It is dual solenoid like a Fusion engine or a V12, but it is by far more efficient. As far as hop-up, it's got a Pro One hop-up unit with I think it's a Modify Hard flat hop bucking with the Namazu flat top nub, I think is the brand that he sent me. And then the barrel, I think, is a Prometheus. .3s. His field in California, he plays at Code Red Airsoft, and what's the other one? I forget what the other one is, but they're both 365 FPS with a .2 for HPA. So he's allowed to shoot 365. He's going to play with .3s at both fields. So as far as joules, 1.2 is about 365 with a .2. With .3s, it's going to be about 1.35. So it goes up quite a bit. Plays at Wildland Airsoft and Code Red. Both of them actually, from what he said, they have a lot of people there and they kind of split up. I don't know if this is true or not, or just sometimes. I don't know. He didn't describe it all that much. But from what he made it sound is there's two groups of players, like 80 to 100 people will come and play at a weekend, and they split up. Like the newer players will go play, and the more experienced players will play. And with the more experienced people, they allowed 3-round burst with HPA. That's what he said, 3 to 5 round burst. So I set this for 3-round burst so that if he's playing and they allow it, he can use it. Now it's set for 30 rounds a second, so it's not that fast, but 3-round burst. See, I'm pulling the trigger. So you can still shoot it fast. Honestly, I don't understand why some fields would be like, oh, well, you can use 3-round burst but not full auto. With an HPA system, when you can just go like this. That's almost as fast as full auto. So why? Why does it have to have that little pause? I don't get it, but that's what I set it to because that's what both of the fields out there allow. Alright, so let's get to shooting this thing. I have the, I'm using my Redline SFR with my 88 cubic inch tank. I have 1,000 PSI left in that tank. Again, it's an 88, so it's a pretty large tank. I am running between 70 and 80 PSI. It's like right in between, so he'll have to find the sweet spot. He actually just ordered a Redline SFR because I recommended it to him. So he's going to have to find the exact spot. Unfortunately, it's not like right at 80 or right at 70. It's like in between, so he'll have to just fine-tune it for 365. Okay, so I've got a GMP magazine with .2s in here. Let's go ahead and put this through the chrono here. It is overhopped, obviously. 351, 354, 354, 354, 355, 355, 358, 358, 355, 356, 358. So very consistent feet per second wise. 358 is 1.19 joules, so 365 is like 1.22. Okay, so he told me he actually might play with some Elite Force mid-caps, so I loaded these up. So I turned it up a little bit. I turned it up to 80 PSI, set for .3s. 305, 305, 309, 309, 310. So this is exactly where we need to be. 310 with a .3 is 1.34 joules with .3s. So 1.34. It's pretty dang consistent. Let's try a 3-round burst here. As you can see, it's fairly fast with the burst. It's not feeding anymore. Yeah. Stop feeding. That's weird. This magazine fed 100% last night, but now it's not, I guess. If I could recommend any magazines to him, I would probably say GMP high RPS for mid-caps, but he also said he uses a lot of flash mags, so high caps flash mags will work fine. That fed perfect. With the short trigger pull mod, you can just span the living crap out of it, and it keeps up. These F2s are one of the most fastest systems as far as trigger response. No problem. Let's try some 3-round burst here. As far as range, it's not quite as far as some of the other guns that I put together. I don't know why. That's just kind of how it is. It's probably the lower feet per second. Also, the Prometheus barrel. I don't care for upgrading barrels. I use stock inner barrels. Bite me. Like, on all of the HPA systems that I put together, I almost always use the stock barrels, and I recommend people to use the stock barrels. Honestly, it's not worth spending $60, $70, $80, and like upwards of $100 for like Umbrella Armory are hopped barrels. It's not worth it if you ask me, because I do flat hops all the time, or Sugru hops, and I get very incredible range. Very. In fact, the LVOA that I put together for my homie with the F2 is Sugru hopped, and it's shooting past 200 feet, even at 350 FPS. This one is just standard flat hop with the unknown barrel. I'm not sure. I think it's a Prometheus. I don't really care for the barrel. I don't know if it's the barrel that's maybe causing it not to shoot like insane, but I'd say range on here is probably about 180, 170 feet. It's nothing crazy. Maybe because of the shorter length of the gun. It does have kind of a long barrel though, but I normally just stick to stock barrels. The KRYTAC barrels work great, but he replaced this one, and I don't really care for it. So, but it is what it is. Alright, so that's how it sounds with the tip on here. Let's go ahead and take it off. My fingers are frozen right now. It's cold. That's a little weird sounding. That's cool, I guess. Sounds a little different. Alright, another high cap. As you can see there, it's pretty consistent. And trigger response is amazing. But as you can see on burst, you can get plenty of BBs downrange. Again, we're only shooting about 1.35 joules with .3s, so it's not really high at all. It doesn't really hit that hard. So we're out. That was 3 high caps just on this video. I did some off camera shooting as well, trying to tune it a little bit. I think I've got it tuned pretty good where it's at. And this is insane. The efficiency on this thing's insane. So I was at 1,000 PSI, and you can look at the dial, and it's just like under 1,000. It's pretty much, yeah, it's like just under 1,000. So that was 1,000 shots, roughly, around 1,000 BBs for, I'd say, 500 PSI, which is incredible